everybody? Happy Monday. It's 5:30 Eastern, and you know what that means. It's time for the Hybrid Live Show. I am your host, Mappy Davis. Joining me, as always, on your far right, unless you're watching through a mirror, it's the guy who calls himself Just Made It Guy. He's bald. He's sexy. He calls himself ugly. It's Ugly Dave, way up in Canada.
This is true. All of it.
Are you very confused by my annoying radio voice?
No. Like I'm old enough to remember annoying radio voices.
Okay, they still sound like that, by the way.
Do they really?
Yes, it's very sad. But let's introduce.
What's the radio?
Exactly. In the middle of your screen, he knows, man, does he know a lot. That's why we bring him. He brings a lot of fire and passion and knowledge. He also tries to control everything I do in this show, and I refuse to let him. The great state of Utah. It's Anthony Peressini from the Hybrid Engine. Welcome, my brother.
Home of the Utah Hockey Club.
Is that what they went with?
Oh, I don't know. It's a.
I don't know what they. I don't think they've picked the name yet. Have they? No, they haven't.
I think they like using it as a temporary name. But I mean, come on, get your shit.
I mean, Washington football team was something for a while for multiple seasons. So Utah hockey team.
Well, we're in a time when this is like a cool thing, like soccer's getting big and blah blah football club is becoming like a big thing, or soccer club. So it's like a thing that's happening. So
it's a dumb thing. It's wrong. It's just wrong. It's what you do when you don't have anything else. You follow that trend. It's wrong. It's just wrong.
All right, we'll get into more of your hot takes later. But listen, we've had a couple things broke just before the show. One is my late breaking top 20 post, which I was supposed to do earlier today. But also we had a new venue announcement and a legit new 2025 event across my Instagram. I follow all of the Instagram accounts. There's like 100 countries that have accounts, and I want to pull this up so everybody can read it. Except I can't do two things at once. Whoa, hang on. Okay, that's not the post. Here we go. There we go. Bilbao. Is it Bilbao? Is that how you say it?
Bilbo Baggins?
That's what I always think.
I don't know. I can't see it.
The first two letters read HYROX email. So I'm guessing someone cut and paste and forgot to do that. Forgot to not say that part. The wait is over. After an incredible and adrenaline-filled season, we are thrilled to announce that HYROX is returning to Bilbao on 2/15/25, making this the first event of the 24-25 season. Why did they write part 2? Save the date because this Wednesday we will open Reg, and it will take place at the BEC, which I'm guessing is the Bilbo Entertainment Center. You can't miss it. Sign up on June 19th. So there you go. I did my amazing post the other day where I said 25 events already on the calendar for 24, and now we have a 25 calendar date. Bilbao, Scotland.
Wow.
Okay, that's all you guys have to say about that.
I don't know where Bilbao's at. Is it like? And I was confused by the post because it says the first event of the 24-25 season, but isn't the first event of the 24-25 season on June 29th in Melbourne?
Well, listen, whoever's behind this post wasn't very good at it. Let's be honest. Maybe it's just that region. Yeah, probably the first. I think they're saying the first one of the new year. That's I think what they meant to say was the first one of the new year.
So far, because it's in February, right?
Yes.
I'm sure there's going to be a January race somewhere.
I'm sure there will be too. But that literally happened moments before my thing.
Good for the people of Scotland.
Yes, and
I'm very happy for the people. I
want to read a very nice note.
It's on the list. It's on the list.
I want to read a really nice note we have, and of course, my phone's in the other room, so I have to get it. Oh my goodness! Let us know where you're chiming in from. By the way, people, welcome, people. The people who always say you're going to make it. Hope you made it.
I hope you were able to stick around for the extra 6 minutes. If anybody wants to know, we actually started this thing twice, but forgot to press live the first time.
Well, one of us forgot to press live the first time. That was me.
Yeah.
Let's go, Lauren R.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Talk to Lauren while I go grab my phone.
Lauren Rentala. All right, we said this publicly, but Lauren, we were all very impressed and proud with your substitute racing.
Lauren, you were awesome. I just want to thank you when you guys came over to the warm-up area to jump in. And I watched that Buttery Bros video, and another thing I saw that you said, like, well, I'm in because I'm the only person here. And that's not true. You were in because you were the next woman up. You were ready. And that was fantastic. So thank you so much for being there. And I thought you did an amazing job.
Agreed.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy is Lauren and I, we're pals. We've been talking for a while. And she was like debating on even going. You know, it's expensive and Mark's going for work and she wasn't sure if she was going to go. And Lauren, I'm so glad you did. And it's another lesson, and you never know what can happen if you just show up. You never know what's around the corner if you just fucking show up.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then, yeah, I don't know if there was, I just saw that other comment that came in. There was an event in Bilbao before. Don't know if it's a different venue or what. I don't know what the thing is, but it's awesome that they're announcing more events, and I hope we get more announcements over the summer for more things that come up.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot very soon. So we got a very nice note about the show, and I asked this gentleman, can I read this online? And he said yes. And so I will read it because I want everybody to know on the show that they're appreciative of what we're doing. And to give this guy a shout out. So Joel Robinson wrote, I was listening to the latest episode and heard you say you like to hear what people do while they're listening. So I was like, hey, everybody, if you're joining this on a workout or a run, let me know. And he said, I always enjoy listening to the podcast version of the live weekly show during my morning commute to work after it is posted in podcast form. And the other I fit in the week when I can. My daughter and I really enjoyed participating in the prediction contest and liked that the winner was able to join the show. Please keep that going as a prize for winning the prediction contest in the future. Thank you all for the great content. And since you guys, you two are on the show with me every week, I wanted to make sure you heard that. He's really appreciating what we're doing. And he got any love that we brought on the winner.
That's awesome. And
who couldn't hear me at all, apparently.
Yeah. I like when we have guests in that we get to talk to. It's really fun.
You just want to know who they are before
I just want to know who they are. That way I can prepare questions for them. Otherwise, it's just like I'm trying to think at the same time we talk, and that just doesn't go well.
What do you think I'm doing? What do you think I'm doing? I gotta try to produce the show and look at these questions and look at stuff.
Man, I have to write down a page of notes and try to predict what I think you're gonna say during the episode that I can reference while we're doing this, because I can't do both things.
You're like the odd couple. You and I are like the odd couple, because like Dave and I are different, but Dave just kind of is like, I don't give a fuck what you do or say, Matt. I'm going to bring what I bring, and right. And Anthony's more not that way.
Because he's an engineer.
Yeah.
So we got the new top 20 is out, men and women. I just posted the women, but I know Dave has something he wants to talk about. And I messaged you and said, should I bring somebody else on? And you said, or I didn't hear back. So I didn't ask.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't get that message. Do you want to do top 20, or you want to talk about what I had in mind?
Well, I think yours is, I think we're going to spend more time talking top 20, okay. But I think your topic, I think we should cover first.
Okay. So first, the thing that happened just this weekend too. We saw a record-setting DEKA Strong by the current DEKA Strong mixed champions, Amber Tate and Kevin Gregory. And what they did, engineers rule, haha, oh God. And what they did was they did it right. They live streamed it. They put the video out. They did it at a very, very reputable DEKA gym where you can see all the equipment, where you can see the setup, where everything was done right.
Did they measure the course?
It was strong. So they didn't have to measure the course. So what I'm saying is, if you are going to put up any kind of marker or want to claim any kind of record, or if you want to, even if you think you're going to qualify for Worlds, you don't have to live stream it, but video it. Like just video it. You in this way, no one can give you crap about it. No one can say it's not right. No one
can't give you crap about it.
Exactly. No crap about it. You can tell them to take off, you hosers. Like it just you need to keep it real. And this is something I actually think DEKA should enforce. That you should not be able to claim a record without a video, without some kind of measurement, without some form of quality control, if you will. So again, hats off to Amber, hats off to Kevin. Great job. That was an amazing run. Can't wait to see you guys throw down at Worlds and try to repeat. And on a side note, hats off to Kevin and Amber's husband, Zach Tate, who in my mind set the record for the mile. Because again, video proof, reputable.
What was their time for the mile, and how far off the record was it?
I cannot remember. Oh, so their time for the mile was 14:11, and they are still up. No, so yeah, so okay, yeah, so they are still approximately, I'm going to guess, almost 40 seconds off the record.
Off this record that we don't think is legit.
I do not recognize it. Yes, that's correct.
Dave does not recognize it.
Who is that?
I don't know. I don't recognize it.
I don't recognize it. I mean, I've gone on this before, so I have no problem saying it again. The people who said it, to me, do not have the past credentials to give me so that I would have faith that they're capable of this. And there's no video. There's not even any splits, nothing to indicate that they're capable of it. So I don't recognize it. And I don't think DEKA should.
So this came up when it happened.
Yep.
And
it's been a thorn in my side ever since.
No, I just want to kind of bring the audience up to speed, because this didn't happen recently, or why we're talking about it today. And because this might have, I don't know if Anthony's familiar, but basically Dave reached out to them. I'll speak for you, Dave, and then you can add. Dave reached out to them and said, or reached out to the gym and said, can you verify this? And they're like, no, but we think it's true. And you were like, are you sure you didn't do a strong instead of a mile? Like, this doesn't really look legit. And my thing is, I don't expect Yancey to have to deal with every single questionable record and, hey, they beat my time. But I do think this is a situation where if it's a massive outlier, especially now that we've had a year and these people haven't repeated it. Did they even show up for the World Champs?
This happened after the World Champs, so they haven't had a chance to show up for a World Champs yet.
Oh, I thought this was before World Champs. Is that a different one I was thinking about?
Possibly.
Maybe it was the first of the year. Was it first?
Yeah, it was earlier. It's been a while. It was earlier.
Yeah.
In the year.
And so if they haven't come close to it and nobody's willing to actually, I feel like he should say, okay, guys, we're not going to do this. And then I think he's, like I said, I'm guessing he's afraid, like, oh no, we'll have to do this for everybody. But I think there's probably something to be done with this. So did I explain that right, Dave?
Pretty much. Yeah. The gym's just said, like, you know, the person that I heard from the gym was just like, I didn't see it, but the judge says it's all good. But and I mean, from this, essentially the gentleman who set the record and currently claim it, their time of 13:42. So I was a little bit off on the time. The time of 13:42. Their previous time was 17:38.
Same two people.
It just
what was the time, the calendar days between those two attempts?
We're gonna go with less than 6 months.
Okay. I took 3.5 minutes off of a top end performance in less than 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and 30% of the time. I mean, that's the thing. It's not just that it's.
Well, it's a top end performance, so any high percentage improvement over that is pretty significant.
Yeah. Like, to be honest, and here's the thing: 17:38 is not a bad time.
Right.
No,
that's a decent time. Those are fit individuals to get that time, and then to drop that to 13:42 it's not. It's
well, especially when you look at who else is doing that time. If you're looking at, you know, Kevin and Zach and other people that are pulling that time.
David Magida and Eric,
right?
Like the world champions, guys. Like, yeah. So
that's
at
so
the time it was
these...
said, it would have been at the time it was said it would have been a minute faster than your world champions.
Yeah, so I think that's the other piece too, right? Is like you've got it. Those are all pieces of a puzzle when looking at people. Like it's like someone cheats at a marathon, and it's like, okay, first of all, what does the Strava look like? Have they ever done it before? What athlete does it compare to? Like all those things are different ways than just saying, "Ooh, you cheated." So yeah, Yancey, Deka needs to fix that. But again, it's like, what's Yancey going to do with a team of 5 people and doing 10 million other things?
And I don't think these guys cheated. I actually don't think they cheated. I think the judge made a mistake. Maybe hit pause on the watch, something along that lines. Maybe miscounted reps. Maybe he thought the row and the ski were wrong distances. Something. I actually don't think they actually cheated because I don't.
Yeah, but they could do something about it. They could say, okay, guys, we don't belong as first place. Did you write them personally?
Oh yeah.
And what did they say?
One was actually kind of like, yeah, he seemed weird to me. The other one doubled down. So, and it is posted on their Instagram as DEKA mile record holders.
Well, there you go.
So they double down. But here's the thing, and I'll throw this out there honestly, and I've told them this, and I'll say it publicly. I'll bet you each $100. You come to World Championship. If you can beat me and my partner in the DEKA mile, I'll give you each $100. And we're of an average age of 49, and we'll be running age group. If they are of the caliber that they are, they will be in elite, which they're
what is your guys' PR time? Does it beat their 17? What?
How about
1650?
Okay.
What if we could?
My question again then is: didn't Bubbles just run this with a female? So like their co-ed time, the mile, or
no? The strong was a co-ed, and the mile was. He also ran. I think he ran 6 races this weekend.
Oh, okay. I thought he ran. Sorry, I thought it was co-ed, and then I was like, well, and then I was thinking that you were saying that he lost to a male team as a co-ed team, and I was like, oh well.
No,
sense a little bit, but
no.
All right. Well, listen, if they come to World Champs, we can have a conversation maybe. And if not, I think wouldn't it be fun if we could like get a sponsor to be like, all right, let's fly Dave there to that gym and then you be their judge and then see how they do. And if they finish slower, what are they going to say? Oh, we
not even a bad
day.
Not even slower, but like a minute and a half slower. Like what's our time cutoff? Is it halfway in between their old time and new time?
And this is what I said. Like, honestly, if they do something just credible, if they go to Worlds or even any other event and have like a credible time, I'll eat my words and say, hey, good job. Show me the video. Fantastic. I'm wrong. You guys are fucking awesome. Congratulations. I have no problem doing that. But as it is, that's my wager to you. I'll bet you both $100 each. If you can beat me and my old guy partner. You don't have to win world championships. You just got to beat a couple of old guys. I think it's fair.
Okay. Well, and it's also why I kind of hate the phrase world record. I'm not a big fan of that, as you know. It's why I put in the post, even for these two who I'm a big fan of, I put fastest time because I just like that better than world record. It's just too many world records. Fastest. Yeah. How about, hey, you're the fastest time.
You own a world record. No, I think depending on which event you're talking about too, it should probably just be course records. Like this course at this venue or venue record or something like, and try to get the same setup every time.
Yeah. And like I said, I that's why I brought it up was just that the way I saw they did it this weekend is the way you do it. You know, if you're putting in a time that you believe will be competitive in any way, whether it's for a record or a qualifying position, despite the fact DEKA does not require this, I think you should video it. And I think you should make it public. And
I mean,
kudos to Amber, Zach, and Kevin, because when they do that, they open themselves up to criticism.
Oh, yeah.
To comments, to criticism, to whatever. But they do it because they want people who know.
Dude, I got to say, I was watching and I was so impressed. The Ram burpees at the end of their effort. I forget which one I watched, but full fucking extension, like no joke, nothing questionable about it. I was like, that's how one should do it.
Well, and
full up all the way up here.
Like you really do want to do that. You want to live stream it. You want to have the accountability, at least a video to submission, even if it's not live streamed. If you're like show Yancey or there's video proof of it, because otherwise you open yourself up to, even if you're the best in the world. Rylan last year, when he went and set the DEKA Strong and DEKA Mile record at a Boise gym, everybody was like, oh, it's a fast course. And it's like, I heard people saying that, and I was like, I think Rylan's really in good shape. I don't think I think he really, and he goes out and smashes DEKA 2 out of 3 victories. And then a site like that, he came back and proved it, that this is what, like, it wasn't just a fast course. He was legitimate. So I really think people who stand by that and want to show that they, this is the record, this is something, they're going to live stream it, they're going to show it. They want proof of it. They don't want to be questioned about it.
Yeah. And I just think that should be the DEKA should have that as a bare minimum requirement.
All right, let's move on. And by that, I mean, let me first go back and read this comment by Brendan, who does help put together the amazing top 20. He's currently working on javelin missiles while listening right now. Should he be telling us this? Because not everybody is that kind of engineer, first of all.
What kind of javelin? Are we talking like the throwing javelin or like an actual missile?
I think he's working on missiles. But I'm again, I don't, should he be telling us that? Like, people that work in the military, like, I don't know how that
is. It military or is it contractor? Private contractor.
It's personal use missiles.
Oh, okay. Well, that's completely different.
I mean, that seems like it should be private. That's all.
The Canadian government is listening. They're stealing your missile plans.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Dude, not everybody's that kind of engineer, though. That's a big assumption. Okay. So. Javelin missile. Javelin missile. Do you know how fast they travel? Anybody want to know how fast they travel?
Mach 3.
I was gonna say like Mach 6.
It flies around 140 meters per second. It has a maximum altitude of 150 meters in top attack mode and 50 in direct attack mode.
What does it have in like casual attack mode?
It's man portable, fire and forget, precision anti-tank missile that can be used by dismounted troops. This sounds fun.
Okay, just so, like, because Matt, we said in compared to speed of sound and Mach, which is speed of sound, 150 meters per second is what you said. That is a half Mach.
So that's not very fast.
No.
I mean, I want to kind of set one off. This sounds fun. You carry it around, right? Like an RPG thing. Is that what RPG means? Like you just walk around with it?
RPG, yeah, I think that's what it means. Or a role-playing game, whatever.
Is that right? 150 meters per second is not, it's not very fast.
Yeah, it's not CUI. I don't know.
How far away would you have to be to dodge it? If the missile is coming at you at 100,
if I was 200 meters away, I could dodge it. 1 second, yeah, 1.5 second reaction time. We're good.
See, again, this is something I want on video for proof.
Okay, let's do it.
Except that you just said you did this.
So this reminds me, there was a joke that this comic did. This is like 100 years ago, but he was talking about like a guy that catches bullets in his teeth.
Yeah,
and he's like, "How do you practice that? Do they start by just kind of tossing them at you, and then like, okay, this one's coming a little bit faster, and then you fire it." All right. So
Matt, what they really do is they fire a blank, and he has the lead bullet in his cheek.
Oh, what do you like go up to kids and tell them Santa Claus isn't real? Should I go up to Lily and tell her Santa Claus isn't real?
No, I'll show her magic.
Believe you should.
How dare you?
It's real. I would ditch the whole. See, if I had to reparent again, there would be no Santa Claus thing. That was a mistake.
You just want all the credit. That's why.
Yes,
I gave this to you, not Santa.
Me, not a fat guy in a suit. Was me. Yeah, and then you're never lying to them either. It's a great idea. Ditch the Santa Claus thing.
But Anthony, you have nothing to do with any kind of missiles, private or public, do you?
No. Well, I mean, I deal with a lot smaller missiles. So I have, we're building a facility to house a linear particle accelerator to create radioisotopes.
Hang on. Let me take this down. Linear particle.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can try to build your own, but I don't think you'll be able to. You can look it up. There's like people that have stuck their hands or stuck things in the way of a particle accelerator, and like you get hit by one of those, it can cause damage. Buterons are no joke.
Do you go back in time?
No. You might feel like it, but
if you get your hand stuck in the flux capacitor like that?
There is such thing as a flux capacitor.
I'm enjoying fruit. What are you drinking?
I'm getting completely not drunk on Athletic Brew.
I finished my popsicle.
There you go. All right. Make a video. What do you got next?
Let's talk about top 20.
Top 20. Top 20.
In a little segment we call
Top 20.
Defend your picks.
Oh, cool. I like this.
So I'm going to pull up the current standings via Instagram.
Now, you haven't posted the men's yet. Are you going to actually announce the men's?
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah.
I usually do a day. Matt did not add this to the notes of what we were talking about today, so we're flying off the cuff here.
I did say that, didn't I?
No, it's not in our notes.
Let's see. Weekly live hybrid show, new top 20. That's the first note on there.
You just added that.
Well, it's what I do. It's my train of thought. Okay, here we go.
All right. Oh, that's a farce. No.
So here we go.
First off, Dave, what do you have the biggest qualm with it as? What's your?
I'm kidding. I was joking. I hadn't even read it yet.
Oh, well, I was just gonna ask you what's your biggest whoa, that person should not be in that place.
No, I haven't. I'm actually scanning it as I see it right now. Because I know who I voted, but I do miss being able to see who everybody else voted for.
Yeah, I miss that too.
That
was really nice.
I thought I shared that last month, and I meant to this month, but I can pull it up now.
I'm gonna be honest, they're just not bad. Nothing is really out there.
I thought Dave would be upset with Maria in 12th when she finished in 9th or something. So
no, she finished in the top 10 there, but no, she jumped up. She jumped up quite a bit, and I know. I think she's okay there.
To me, Amy, Kate, and Maria all jumped way up.
Yeah,
Amy moved 11 spots. I don't know if we've ever had anybody move that much.
Well, all three of them had great races.
Yeah. So
yeah, but to me, it's not just how did you do in this race? Or it's how have you done lately? To me, that's a big factor. So it's Amy qualified by getting to the LCQ, and then she had a great Worlds.
So here's the question though: should Rebecca Mason have dropped so drastically? Considering it's not like she went in and had a bad race.
She hasn't raced in 6 months, so I don't include people that haven't raced in 6 months.
Has it been that long? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll give you that one. But just, you know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at though? She hasn't had a bad performance since her last one. She just has been a while and has been injured. So
her last one also that's why I think we just take them out when if there's a long time between their races, because her last one was Stockholm, right? And she went and tried to do a doubles but had to pull out of the race. So really it's there was no race in 6 months, and that's just kind of the rule I've been following. And so I don't know if anybody else didn't include her, but I take them off my 20 when that happens.
Yeah, I believe I had her. I had her drop some, but I believe I did have her.
Rebecca actually was 15th for two people and 21. No, that's not right. Hang on. What am I looking at here?
Rebecca who? Oh, Rebecca Mason. No.
Rebecca Mason. I'm trying to see, Brendan, how you do this. I'm trying to look at everybody's picks the way he wrote it out.
So what about Chris, Anthony? How long has it been since I know she raced at Worlds, but she did she did doubles, right?
Yeah, but Chris also raced in Vienna.
Yeah. Yeah. So how long ago was that one?
And she's done Vienna was February.
Okay.
So it's been 4 months, but she also did something else too. Cause like she does a lot of different types of races, not just HYROX or DEKA or something. So she also raced with her brother. And I think she did like 3 races on Sunday.
Yeah. She went back to more Chris-like stuff. I'm actually really glad to see her, obviously recovering from her injury and back at it. It's it's like, seeing a smile on someone's face again. It's good to see.
Yeah, she seemed happy there too. I saw her at the venue. Like, it was great. I just don't know like what kind of shape she's in right now, just because of coming back from an injury. So
yeah, I mean, it's going to take time to get back to where she was.
Yeah, I'm sure by the time next season kicks in, Chris is going to be right back up there.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how many polls she appeared in, because I was looking at the wrong thing before.
I do have to say though, like Chris made a bet with Hunter that if she didn't make Worlds, she had to run 100-miler with Hunter sometime in October. And
so
then
who's getting punished for that? Because
like,
the
Chris
thing was that
if Chris did make Worlds, Hunter was going to have to run the 100-miler naked. So I think we're all winning now.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
But I don't know if they're actually still following through with that. That was a couple months ago. I heard that on their show.
Yeah, I was going to say, because like Chris will run 100-miler every other weekend. Like that's not a real bet. That's like betting me to shave my head. It's just a waste
something you're going to do.
Yeah, But yeah, even if she wins, because I mean, 100-miler, that's not an easy route for Hunter.
Yeah, I think it was either before Vienna or between Vienna and DC is when they had talked, or maybe it was right after DC. I don't remember. It was pretty close to that time frame though.
Right. So yeah, I don't see anything really that jumps out craziness to me on this one.
I mean, the May numbers seem to be all spread around. Like people really had some jumps and falls. I think the list here is actually really reactive, really reactive to things, and like versus how I do my own rankings. Like Michaela, I had her up and I give a little leeway if there's a bad race. I give a little bit more if there's another one. And then so she didn't fall as far as quickly, but I still see she's top 10 on here. And then I guess right before Worlds, we heard about her, like her back wasn't in the best of shape. And so she was having some back problems. She still raced Worlds and I think she was 10th. So her falling 10th here doesn't surprise me because now it's probably going to be more in line. But the biggest fall that I see is kind of Morgan, just because she was the DEKA FIT World Champion. She went to the Anaheim LCQ, and I think she might have just missed out because she made a mistake in running and cost herself 40 seconds, which kind of puts you out of the race. So I think that little mistake there kind of really dropped her down. But she's there otherwher. So
yeah, I think her fall is more of a reaction to other people's
done for me rightly. Yeah.
Again, we've discussed this, and it is a monthly ranking, so it should be reactive.
Yep.
So it's like if you look at a football game, right? And if number one almost loses, they probably don't lose their spot. But like if a number two barely beats a team that it should have beaten, and a 3 team has an amazing performance, then it might jump. So yeah, Laura and Meg have gone back and forth all year and in our polls in terms of races. And this was the tiebreaker, and this was the world champ. They were 2-2 in majors. So that makes the obvious one too. Now it's like, does that mean 3 through 10 is going to be the 3 through 10 in the race? To me, not necessarily. But it looks like that's almost how it worked out. For Vivian 3, Viola 4, that is like it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
See, Viola got a bigger jump. Because I mean, Linda was what 3-3-3-2-5, right? So in terms of the season, and she just kind of had a rough wall ball. Otherwise, she came into wall balls, I think, second. So You know,
all right, Brendan, I'm going to need your help if you're still watching, because it looks like, who were we just talking about? Sorry, who were we just talking about?
Viola?
No, before that.
Michaela?
Who did we say? Who did we say?
Morgan?
We've talked about Chris, Rebecca.
Before Chris, Rebecca.
Oh, God.
That was the first one we talked about.
Yeah. So Rebecca shows up in 15th on exactly, it looks like one form, which is Dave's. So I don't know how she could be 15th on our polls.
She's not. She's 20th.
Well, there you go. That's why she's 20th. Okay. My mistake. Okay, good. Sorry about that. So the only other person you had higher than a lot of people, Dave, was Alondra.
Yeah, because I give more credit to Alondra for her DEKA World Championship.
How much further in the rear view does it have to be for you to?
Well, as you see, she was up higher for me before, and she started to drop as time's gone by. And even the same with Tara. Like, I've had Tara up there for a long time, and she dropped on mine finally this one because, you know, a lot of time has passed. We're like 6 months, and, you know, it's gone like that. So yeah, but I still believe. And then Alondra's done. She's still racing. But yeah, she has not raced at the level of where she was back in December.
So, Anthony,
yes,
are you ready to defend your picks?
Do you really want me to?
I mean, it's funny because you've not voted Lauren first before, but that's one that you have very different than everyone, and there's also 4, 5, and 6 you have very different picks than everyone. Not everyone, but almost everyone.
I'm not sure when I didn't vote Lauren first, but
I don't.
Because didn't you say that once? Like, hey
I
guys,
don't
what's that?
If I thought that, then I would. I mean, I'd vote what I thought, you know, but I don't think I have voted her not first before.
No, but I thought you even said, hey guys, like, I don't know.
I'd be honest with my picks. I would be honest with what they are. And yeah, I still have her first.
Okay. Because you feel that the performance, the finish doesn't equal the whatever.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say here. I, as nicely, I guess, as possible, just think that the discrepancies between the race itself did not lend to creating a good race, just the way I see it. So what I did is, if I didn't punish or disparage anybody's ranking, if this race showed me, based on the numbers I'd gone through post race, I did not disparage anybody's ranking if it was not a level across the field for it.
Okay.
Is that a political answer?
Yeah, we don't have to stay on the first pick necessarily.
Thanks.
I
moved Vivian up, so I have all my picks. I have my June. I keep a spreadsheet of it, so I pulled up my spreadsheet. I have it listed here. Like, Vivian moved up to number 3. She did a fantastic job, and she definitely earned that number 3 in this. And what's crazy to me is, like, Vivian crossed the line in 4th, but she ran a great race and finished number 3, which is fantastic. So
I'm looking at not necessarily your picks, but kind of compared to the field.
My picks compared to the overall here.
Yeah.
So I guess you guys can't see what my picks were. So I'll go through my top 5, or I'll go through my top 10. I'll just say them in order.
You don't have to. I was, unless you really want to, I was just pointing out. So for example, Kate was 6th in everybody except for you. Actually, you and Dave. Dave has Viola, you have Lauren. And then in 4th, you have Lauren. Sorry, you have Linda, and there's 3 Violas for 4.
Sorry, where did I have Viola?
You have Viola.
Nobody can see what you see. Do you?
6th.
Oh, okay. I was going to say I didn't have. I thought you had her up higher. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. I'm good with that.
I mean, that group, they were all with each other. So you're looking at Vivian and Linda and Viola. Like, I'm sure all of us might have even had them all 3 in a different order.
Right, except the only outlier there is Dave. Dave, you have Morgan up there, and I'm guessing that's her DEKA, which again, that world championship weighed a lot, but it's dropping as the months go by.
Yep.
She had a rough showing in Anaheim, which she admits. And so, yeah, I put Morgan way lower. But you have.
Do you guys see HYROX is watching us?
Yep. Yeah.
I commented.
Oh, hello.
Let's go. What's up, HYROX?
So a couple of things I saw in the comments there I wanted to say. I only have 4 outlier votes according to Brennan, and that's a personal best, apparently. I will fix that. It'll be way more next time.
Do you want to talk about the sled some more, Anthony, now that HYROX is watching?
No.
Listen, I like
a good question there. Looking ahead to DEKA Worlds, aside from Megan Lauren, whose skill set translates best to DEKA and has the potential to move up. And I think that's relevant to the list and on brand. And for me, to answer that, I would say obviously Tara and Morgan, who are DEKA World Champions. Obviously, they can jump up a lot that way. But also in the mix there, Vivian Tufudo, who did not get a chance and was one of the favorites for last year. But not only that, Viola Oberlander, who has run quite a few DEKAs over in Spain, has a real good shot. If she was to come to Worlds, she would really shake things up.
Who?
Viola.
Oh, yeah.
Can we settle in and enjoy our picks for 5 seconds before we look ahead to
well, I think that was pertaining to the pick list.
The people want to talk.
Who could move up? I think Camilla could move up. During
Camilla's a champ. She's a co-champ. So definitely.
Camilla could absolutely go up. And Viola could strengthen her position. I don't know if she passes Vivian, because if Vivian does DEKA too, I don't know if that, but they'll be strengthening there. I'm sure Lauren Griffith will move up when if her calf is doing better. So absolutely.
Interesting with Chris was in the front of everybody's mind, especially on the OCR side and also on some of the stuff in the hybrid side for 2 years kind of straight, it felt like. And I think she's not been in the spotlight, and I think she's fine with it. If you look at all of her pictures racing with her brother, she's as happy as anybody, right? Not racing for world titles, just having a great time. And I think that she could be off this list and it wouldn't even bother her, right?
No.
If she's like, you know what, I'm just going to go do some ultras for a while. I'm not even going to show up to DEKA. I mean, I don't know. I haven't spoken to her. I haven't asked her specifically, but she was in Anaheim, didn't even race, just there to hang out and see everybody.
Chris's ceiling is completely dependent on Chris's desire. So whatever she wants to do, she can be great at. She just needs to decide that's what she wants to do. And it's been, obviously before the injury and stuff, where she wants to do many things, which is awesome. And I think is a great role model for people. Try everything, go around, try lots of stuff and have fun and enjoy life. You can't ask for a better role model than that. I do believe that in order to get to the top of say HYROX or DEKA, it's going to take a little more focus than it would have 2 years ago, because the field is just so much stronger. Now, I believe Chris is capable of that if she wanted to do so, but I don't think she wants to. I think she wants to enjoy her life and sample all the variety life has to offer.
Yeah, Chris seemed really happy there, racing with her brother, and I think she raced with raced with a couple of different people too. So it was cool.
You're welcome, HYROX, whoever is behind this account. Do you know who's behind this account? I don't.
I don't know.
I know Graham runs the USA account. I don't know who runs this account.
It's not Mintra. She's got other things to do right now.
Yeah, Mintra. She had her baby on Monday.
Hey, Muzzle Tough Mintra. Do you know the baby's name? Is HYROX its middle name?
No, she did say it. I don't have it up though, so I don't remember.
Yeah.
Back to I want to ask your thoughts on Michaela, because Michaela was like 2 or 3, right? She won a major, or she won the US championship at one point, right? Last year, which now seems like 100 years ago.
That was before like her health struggles. You know, she really cemented herself that she could compete at the very top. She did awesome. She had a okay season, but I think she still encountered some health troubles, and then had a back issue and still came out and did 10th. Like she's still in the mix, and she still will be an Elite 15 athlete. I just don't know if we will see her get to her. I mean, Michaela's one of 3 women to ever break 61 minutes.
Yeah.
Like she's the 3rd fastest woman to ever race, you know? But will we ever see her do that again? If she gets healed and comes back to her full potential, maybe. She has the potential to.
I mean, because we really saw her in that, you know, that tier 1, right? That Meg Laurel tier, right?
She's one of the few women that have beat both Meg and Lauren. Is she maybe the only, like, let's call it recently. Recent bias says over the past 3 years. I don't know. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head who has beat both Meg and Lauren, other than Michaela.
Did you talk to her by chance in Nice?
To Michaela?
Yeah,
briefly, a little bit. Not a lot. In the last year and a half, since the 2022 to 2023 season, and then this year, Michaela's the only one to beat them both.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure if she was the only one, but I thought so.
To beat them both, like,
yeah,
because between them, besides them beating each other, Linda's the only one to take a victory from, or to finish ahead of either of them, and she got second. She beat Meg and DC. That's the only other either of those two have faced. Had a loss against.
Want to shout out Resolute Coffee. I forgot the logo up there in the corner, and there it is now. The beautiful round coffee logo. Resolute Coffee, where you can enjoy delicious. You can order it by the bean. You can order it ground. You can get some delicious ice cold brew from Resolute Coffee. I'm a big fan. HFM20 is your code. We love Brian. We love Resolute Coffee. Dave, are you still waiting for your mug?
I was never promised a mug. I just have my hot sauce.
Just want your hot sauce. Also, shout out Resolute hot sauce. Do we want to move on to the men? And welcome Jabari, who said he almost missed out. Do we want to?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Ready to move on to the men?
Yep.
All right.
This is groundbreaking because you haven't put this out
yet. Yeah,
you
haven't put this out yet. I'm curious how close mine are going to line up here. I bet you my top 5 are not the same top 5. Well, not in the same order as the top 5 on this list.
Oh, mine are never. So that's not even uncommon.
I could list who the top 5 men will be, but I'm very doubtful they'll be in the same order.
Who do you think the top 5 will be? Before I pull it up, who do you think?
The 5 men in no particular order.
No, let's hear their order. I want to hear the order.
Well, okay. I'll give you the order I wrote them in. Ronkovic, James Kelly, Hunter, Michael, Paleo.
Okay, what do you think?
That's not what I put, but I think that's probably the way it'll roll.
God, I feel like this is so exciting. I feel like I should do like a slow reveal.
Go from 20 up. That would be good if you could pull that off. I don't think you can, but if you could, it'd be great.
Brendan says I'm correct.
Brendan, I'm doing something here. Come on, Brendan.
Well, it's not him that spoiled it. It was Anthony who spoiled it.
All right. I'm going to.
Anthony, you peaked, buddy. Just shut her down. Shut her down. You peaked. You're not getting better than that.
All right, Brendan, don't say anything. I'm doing something here. Hang on.
Victory, my first fantasy, or what is this, fantasy or like prediction contest victory?
All right. Here we go. I'm going to read them. I'm going to read them, okay? You ready?
Yeah.
We're going to go from the bottom up. This will be fun, and then I'll post it. You ready?
Okay.
Number 20 is Lucas, down 4 points, down 4 spots.
I had him.
Tough break for Lucas. Tough break for Lucas, having to miss out on the finals there.
New on the charts, Sadiq comes in at 19th.
I did not have Sadiq on mine.
He's been doing well. I don't think I had him on mine either, but I'm not mistaken.
I kept Kevin Gregory in there.
Kevin Gregory moves up a spot to 18th.
There you go.
Isaac, no movement, 17th. The next two are big droppers. Tim Vinish and Rich Bryan, both down 5. So they're 16 and 15.
Yeah.
The next two didn't move. Colin and Thomas.
Just tell me where Jarrett Newby is.
Not on this list. I still voted for him.
I voted for him.
Bo Willis down 5 spots in 12. Jonathan Wynn, brand new at 11. Well, he's not brand new. He's new this month. So I guess I think he's been in the low 1920s, but he must have not have been on last month.
He was having some struggles before the LCQ, and then had a great LCQ, and then top 50 in the.
So he's like he's way up there. He's the equivalent of what's her name from the other side?
Amy Bevilacqua.
Yeah. Rylan down 6 spots to 10. Dylan down spots to 9. Ryan Kent down spots to 5. The biggest mover, are you ready? Tobias Lautvine up 13. He was 20 last week.
Hey man, he got in and threw down.
Graham in 6th. Paleo in 5th. Hunter in 4th. So the first time he's ever not first, he's 4th.
So my order wasn't right.
See,
my people were right.
And then James, and then Sandy and Ronco. So now I'll bring this up for everybody to look at. Now that I did that, that was fun. I honestly was surprised Hunter was 4th.
I didn't hear Rylan.
Yeah, Rylan he said Rylan dropped down.
Rylan dropped a bunch. Let me pull up this photo.
I think they said Paleo was in 5th.
Yes, hang on. Let me pull it up. See, you were right about the wrong order.
Oh,
there you go. So you were right about being wrong. That's still something.
You know, it would be good if I knew what the heck I was doing.
So, yeah, I had it Ronco, JK, Hunter, Sandback, Paleo. I think you said it was Ronco, Sandback, JK, Hunter, Paleo.
It is, in fact, Sandbatch, but you basically say everybody's name wrong, so I think I'm going to stop correcting you.
Sandy. I'll just call him Sandy.
That's Sandy 6000.
Yeah, I don't have mine in front of me, but I think I had Sandy a little bit lower. And yeah, because remember, I have Kevin higher. I have Kevin up there because I still consider that a world championship, and he's still racing hard and winning everything he can.
I have him in there just because he won a world championship and he's still doing races that he wins. And I mean, there's not enough crossover for me yet. So he's in 20th, but if he starts to venture into other things and shows things, he'll move up. But I still have Jarrett Newby in 15th because he still races and the things he does are incredibly impressive.
Yeah, I've got Jarrett. Where do I got Jarrett? Hang on, let me go to my picks. Where the heck do I have Jarrett? I have Jarrett 16th between Lucas and Sadiq.
Dave, you had Kevin Gregory in 3rd.
Hey man, he's world champion.
You are single-handedly keeping him on the list.
You're welcome, Kevin. Hey, look, I mean, he won how many world championships there? He's still competing. He's still going. He's winning everything he can in the realm that he races in. And just, I consider what he races in to be hybrid racing. You do not. So it's always been one of our very big differences. And one of those things,
Kevin, he's not single-handedly. I have Kevin ahead of Rich and Magida. I have him in 18th. So there you go.
And that is one thing. Magida is off the list now. Was he off last month?
No, I think he had dropped down. Yeah. But yeah, those guys are going to have to work really hard to get back up.
Yeah. So I think this was the first month that I wasn't the only one who didn't put Hunter number 1.
Yes, you were correct.
Yeah. Well, for me, and anyone who wants justification on that, even now, in my mind, Hunter, does really 2 races or 3 races over the year. He did, a doubles, which he did great in. He did a qualifier, which he did great in. And then, he did LA. And then this is really the race that defines him as number 1, and he did not win. So to me, that's why, if that's his whole dominance and he's no longer dominant there, he can't be up there.
Well, you two are the only 2 that voted JK second. 3 of us put Sandy. Sorry, 4 of us put Sandy second, and then 1 person put Hunter, and 1 person put Hunter. And I'll let him.
There's only 7 of us. How was there 8 votes?
Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Sandys, 1 Hunter, 2 JKs. Okay. So we haven't really talked, right, since the World Champs. I mean, we did talk, I guess. There was so much that happened. Mm-hmm. I think we haven't really talked what we think might happen with Hunter. We talked about how mad he might be. But as you said, it kind of is his whole identity, right? It really is your first, your last, and I'm the world champ and I'm the greatest. And so I think he's in, finding himself mode. I know that Sandy said he and him are going to go do some mountain climbing. But I think it's going to be very interesting to see what the next few months are like for Hunter.
I mean, do you guys follow Hunter and see what he does? He's already been posting brick by brick, day 2.
All right, well, there you go. I guess that answers it. I should probably have pulled up his stuff first. Hang on.
I think he's gonna come back hard. Ready for it. He's gonna.
I thought he was going to the mountains already.
Well, he's doing his whole European tour thing.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is a post. This is his house, though. He's not at his house, is he?
No, he's not at his house. He's in the mountains. He's in, what's it called?
Okay. Well, what does that look like, the mountains to you?
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's somewhere. It's somewhere in Europe.
It kind of looked like the same place Meg was working out at.
I don't think that's the same place Meg was at.
No, I don't know. The house and the pool.
This is somebody's garage.
Before he was at France, he was like in the Swiss Alps or something over there in like a town. Maybe he went back there. I'm not sure where his tour takes him. So he's got like the next month or 2 months in Europe, going to different gyms and doing seminars and stuff. And Sandy's going to join him for some of them. So he's got time there, and then I'm sure he'll keep working out, and wherever he's staying, he's going to keep working out. So.
Oh, he's not. Yeah, he's not going to drop off. I think I agree with you. I think he's going to try to come back hard. I think he really will, and he'll try to come back hard. I just think that the field has caught up so much that I just don't. I'm not as confident that he would be as successful as I would have been last year, say, if it was the same situation. It's a harder mountain to climb. He's 1 year older. The competition is that much better. And he does still have many. He might say he wants to be wholeheartedly in this, but he has a business he needs to contend to, right? And he has to be part of that. It takes a lot of time.
It does. I think, he'll be great. And just to answer, I saw people asking what the tiebreaker is. I'm assuming the tiebreaker is higher higher votes, and since JK was voted second twice and Hunter was voted second only once, the 2 seconds beat out the 1 second, which is why the points are the same, but JK gets 3 and Hunter gets 4.
Yeah, the first tie break is whoever, if you appear where you appear the highest on any one list, and then multiple lists. So I don't think we've ever needed a tie break more than that. I don't know in what world that would exist, but Brendan will correct me if I'm wrong, even though I'm the one who came up with the rules.
Right. So, well, both of them appear on everybody's list, so they're both going to be there. It's just the other one is what? Yeah. Thanks, Brennan. I'm right. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Sometimes there's a lot of ties, sometimes there's not a lot of ties. It just depends. We've not had a ton of movement. There's always usually like 1 or 2 spots. Obviously, this being the world champs or a world champs, because I don't just consider HYROX the only thing that matters here. We definitely saw some movement. But I think, I mean, if Hunter, if he doesn't do anything else, like he's not going to do DEKA, he's not going to, it looks like he's going to, is he going to compete anywhere, right? Is he going to show up to do like GoRuck Games isn't happening and he doesn't participate in his own event, right? So, you know, a lot of these people do other stuff, but this is all he does. I think he's going to come back strong as well. But I know he's signed with Puma and that's a big deal. And I just wonder if maybe they want him at more things. I don't know. But we'll see.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, obviously Sandbatch's giant jump and Tobias are really stand out, but you know, deservedly so. They did amazing, and that is, you know, like we say, HYROX is not everything, but the HYROX World Championship would be like the Indy 500 of the hybrid world. Like it's the biggest race, and then people can argue with me about the Indy 500 being the biggest race, whatever. But the point is, it's definitively the biggest race in the hybrid world, so it does have the biggest way.
Well, and I think I said this to Ronco, you know, defending is harder than winning. So it's going to be a long road for Meg and Alex both, right? That climb, that hunger, getting to the top. And now you've got the target every time. Everyone expects you to show up every time. And this is like, okay, now what are you made of? Can you stay on top? Can you put the year together? Can you stay healthy? All these things.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's going to be tough for them. I mean, Ronco, Hunter's going to be coming. So, I mean, all 4 of those guys that beat him, but 3 of them, like, you know, I've already talked to James a few times. I don't think he'd mind me sharing it, but I don't know if you've gone back and watched. There was a point where JK and Ronco are tied on wall balls with 45 reps, and Sandy's about 5 reps ahead. And I talked to JK today, and he was like, you know, we went over it, but you know, if he holds on to that ball, like that's how close this whole race was. So just going into next season, it's not just Hunter now. There are 4, maybe 4 or 5 guys that are right there. And it's going to depend on the race that you get.
Yeah. You talked about making predictions for next year.
The way every year at the end of the season, like a week after the season ends, don't you get like the NCAA college football or the MLB baseball? They're always like, way too early predictions. Who's going to win the Super Bowl next year? The week after the Super Bowl.
Well, this is what I just want to know. I just want to get the calendar of events. That's my biggest thing, right? Because then we can at least people start talking about what they're going to do. And it's not like they're not working on it. You know, if this were Spartan, it would be like, who the fuck knows? Like maybe they'll tell us in January. But these guys are working on it and have some scheduled posts or scheduled plans for when these are going to happen. We just don't know what they are yet.
Yep. Yeah. And as soon as like we get that whole schedule and everything about it gets figured out, and we know one, how people are going to qualify, we don't know right now. If you go look at the major qualification list, are they accepting all the times from this year? Are they going to do what they did last year, where it's only 2024 year, like calendar year and on?
Right. Or did they only do that to do the catch up for the season?
Or is it only it's all wiped clean after the World Champs and you have to run another race before you're in, unless you're one of the auto qualifiers? Like, what is it going to be? And then who gets the automatic qualifiers? Because if they do it the way they did it last year, right? Last year, there was only 2 majors, and then they accepted 3 people from Worlds. This year, there was 4 majors, and how many people from Worlds do they accept? Are they trying to get to that only 5 auto qualifiers, which I think they should only do 5 auto qualifiers like they did before. But on the men's side, you had a different male win each major, and then Alex was the only one to double up, right? And so his would roll down to Sandy. There's your 5. So then you're looking at people like JK and Paleo and Tobias. They don't get their automatic qualifiers. So now going into next season, do they have to race before they get to qualify for a major? And just those questions getting answered early before like all these races start, because the season starts in less than 2 weeks now, right?
Or has it already started? Because can't your times from New York apparently?
Well, that's the question. That's what I was asking. Are they going to do calendar year again? Or last year they said, oh, we're only doing that to catch up for this year. Are they going to make it so that it's only the new season? So you have to, at the end of Worlds, chopped off, okay, here's everything moving forward.
Yeah. I have no idea. All I know is that they had said to the people who qualified in New York is that you could do it for either.
Well, we just need the decision so that everybody can plan.
And there was another race. There was a race the same weekend, by the way, as New York. Wasn't there an Italy race?
I assume they get the same deal.
Right. So the question then becomes like, just send out the qualification system so that everybody knows it, because you don't have to send out the venues yet, although the venues should follow like where the majors are going to be, but at least send out, here's how you have to qualify, so people know like who has the auto bids and who needs to go race early season. So, and the Asian Championships we're assuming is going to be one of the majors. Mm-hmm. And it's at the end of November, which means if you want to race that and you're not qualified yet, you need to get a race in September, October to go race that if you plan on going to Hong Kong, right? So
would you go? Would you and Lauren go if it is?
I don't know yet. It's like as expensive or more expensive than flying to Nice.
Yeah, it's like next week there already, I think.
Yeah. It's tomorrow.
At least tomorrow.
Yeah.
Welcome, Fabian, by the way. Where are you checking in from? Fabian Dominguez.
And he makes a good point, right? That Asian Championship could bring a completely different person into the fray, depending on who attends.
Yeah. And not just who attends, but like, what if, it's too far away, a lot of the top contenders don't go. Somebody who might be in that 10 to 20 to 30 range could qualify for Worlds out of that one, and that would be their best chance to go to it. So I think, like, depending on who shows up, they should. And based off of one thing I did here was that they're not going to limit it to the top 5 anymore. So you're not going to have the situation of the women's where they only have 7 qualifiers or 8 qualifiers going into the last LCQ. So there's going to only be apparently 1 LCQ next year, and it's going to have 3 spots.
So question for you, Anthony. This just came into my head as you were saying this. So as HYROX is growing and expanding out and you have an Asian Championship in Hong Kong, are they going to work their way into a problem that CrossFit currently has, where you're getting possibly people like, say, over in the Asian qualifiers where they're getting spots in CrossFit to go to the games that maybe they don't deserve compared to some of the North American athletes or European athletes, but they're obligated to spot. So it's not quite the same, but going down that road.
If they did it the way that I want them to do it, they could, but they need to change it. Really, because they're opening, like, it's open. You don't have to be in Asia to qualify out of the Asia Championships. Yeah. No, they're not going to run into the same problem CrossFit has.
With sheer logistics.
No, because I still think anybody that's going to actually place there they probably, even if they're in that 10 to 15 range, then they're the person that's that 10 to 15, even though that 10 to 15 range has 20 people that could be in it. You know, they're in the conversation. They're not going to get blown out in a race. I don't think it's going to turn into something like that. What that does mean, though, is that, like, now I'm not exactly sure, but if they limited it, so like you can only qualify, say you could only go to the Asia Championships if you've already ran a race in the APAC region, that would start to exclude people. But if they did that, I would think they would need to consider how many world spots they're giving out to that race.
So if you live on that side of the world, your year's about to get really exciting.
Yeah.
Melbourne in 2 weeks, then Singapore, then Sydney. Last time Sydney and Melbourne were like a week apart, which is kind of cool. Was kind of cool. Then Brisbane for the first time, I think, as far as I know. Then this is the wait a minute. I thought which one did we say was the fall? Singapore is the.
It's not listed. It's not listed yet.
Oh, they took it away?
No, you're talking about the Hong Kong Asia Championships is not listed.
Right. But I thought we had a date for it.
Yeah, we've seen a date posted, but there's no.
It's not on the website.
It's not on here still.
So it's different than this one because this is the same venue, right?
No.
Yeah.
I thought the Hong Kong
different venue, still in Singapore. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's. I thought I looked this up already. Anyway, then Perth. Like, if you live over there, now's a good time. And then the first ever South Africa event in September, which they are really excited about. We could have some super cool athletes we've never seen out of there before.
Mm-hmm. Some of these would be really fun to go to. Man, I wish I could just travel and go to all of them. Well, I don't know about you guys. I love being at the HYROX events. They're so much fun to be at.
Oh, you should have said that when they were here checking us out.
They could still be here.
They could still be here. I'd have other things to say privately.
I mean, I don't want to go to all of them, but I certainly would like to go to some of these places. Hey, what do you think? Here's a question for topic. Do you think we're going to get second dates for Chicago and or Toronto? Because everyone's like talking about that.
Like they're going to add a day to those races?
Yeah, because there's so much interest.
2 days and 3 day races instead of one?
Well, at least 2.
Yeah, like Toronto's currently a 1 day race.
Well, they should make it 2.
And so is Chicago.
Is Chicago still 1 day? I wasn't sure. I didn't know.
Yeah, they should make it 2.
We only had 2 day once, and that was New York because the venue was so small. It wasn't even for the sellout reason. This was New York last year.
I mean, I don't know. I think they have the budget that they can only fill, and adding an extra day at a venue is expensive.
Yeah, but I think they've been really pushing these wait lists. And to me, that's what they're going to use to gauge whether they can put on a second day or not.
Yeah. I'd like to see more spread out, like where the races are. I'd like to see the whole American schedule. Like, it'd be nice if there was 2 races each month in the USA, at least just biasly, 2 races per month, every other weekend. That is like East Coast, West Coast, Central, Midwest, like back and forth, so that everybody had an opportunity to keep doing them. But really right now everything's on the East Coast, and that's a 6-hour flight.
It's a 6-hour flight for you?
To get from here to New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems about right.
Here to Florida? Yeah.
How far? How about to Atlanta?
Atlanta's Atlanta's like the 5.5 hour, the place that you would fly to as a red eye to go somewhere else. It's a long flight. It's not easy.
Move out of the sticks, man. What am I going to tell you?
Yeah. I'd like to, I don't know. I'd like to see him. And I know it's like, they don't want him at elevation, but it'd be cool to see a few more West Coast ones. And not all clumped together either, like spread out. LA, Anaheim, Portland, Seattle, Las Vegas. Like, if they want to, Salt Lake City, that'd be cool.
I don't think that's happening.
I know. Nobody wants to run at elevation, so they're not going to do Denver either.
They posted, if you look at their site or their data, there's some affiliate number they use that seems awfully high. I forget what it is, but it's like, I think it says like 2,500 or something crazy like that. I don't think that's possible. Like DEKA doesn't have that many gyms, and DEKA started doing that really hardcore.
HYROX is grabbing affiliates like mad.
Yeah.
So in Canada,
it's not that expensive with their HYROX 365 app to become an affiliate, right?
No, it's.
I think I looked into it. I myself could become an affiliate, and it was like $100 a month or something.
Because pretty much, if you're a gym and you can get one new member by being a HYROX affiliate,
do it. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's it. Like, there's not much to it.
That's it. $100 a month. So I can be an affiliate.
Pretty much.
Backyard.
I think you have to go. I think you have to go get like your HYROX Master Coach certification or something. But otherwise, yeah,
HYROX Master Coach. Get out of here with that nonsense.
That's what they have.
But yeah, HYROX affiliate.
I definitely saw it
with the ground.
HYROX gym affiliation starts as little as 130. They upped it. It was
as little as. So what does that mean? Is it based on members or something?
So I think it's like. Something like that.
Well, dude, you should do it just to get the discount code or the early announcement for the venues, because if they're still doing that, right, that's your reason to do it, to be an affiliate.
I actually haven't been on here in a while, so I'll probably start looking into it now.
So Dave,
I can make my dining room a one person affiliate.
Yeah, I can make my backyard an affiliate.
Brennan said you have to buy a ski erg. We already have a ski erg. HYROX, we were given one. We won one. Lauren won a ski erg from the very first HYROX home series. That's what they called it before the Virtual Championships of Fitness.
Oh, VCF. That's right. Sorry, VCF. That's where I got my winner shirt from.
Yeah. Before that, there was the home series. Do you remember that one?
Yep.
Yeah. So what year was that?
That was 2020. So that was like right after everything shut down and they canceled the races. The first thing they did was the home series. There was a series of like 3 or 4 workouts. Lauren won, and they sent us a ski erg, which was awesome.
So is that another world championship, or is that one of the world championships?
No, that's just the home series. And then there was the VCF.
She should claim it. She should claim another world championship. Be like
then
Hunter.
There was the VCF, and then there was the HYROX World Championships. There was the Elite 12, and then after the Elite 12, which was 2020. There was the VCF 2, where the winner would get invited to the Dallas Invitational race.
And that
was Rachel.
I want to ask Dave more about this, like what you're seeing. So, Dave, what province are you in?
Ontario.
You're in Ontario.
Yep.
So, like people always said for OCR, like, oh well, it turns out. All the only race that does well, the ones that are close to Toronto, and like that was it. So like the Western Canada ones died out and whatever. So like, what are you hearing about DEKA and HYROX for that matter for your region?
So I'll say right now that DEKA had a big running start on affiliates, and HYROX has absolutely overtaken them for the amount of affiliates. I don't even know how many HYROX affiliates there are, but it seems like there's like another 2 every week.
Really?
They are just going like wildfire. There's like PFTs at different gyms and little HYROX events almost every weekend.
So hang on, let's pull this up. Hang on. I love a map. Let's pull a map up.
Yeah. And whereas DEKA's growth as far as affiliates has kind of stalled.
Okay, so Ottawa's pretty massive. Okay. Right?
Ottawa or Ontario?
Sorry. Ontario is pretty massive. We assume
everybody most thinks people, Texas is big. Take a look at Ontario.
But I'm assuming everybody lives kind of like below here, right?
50% of the country lives below there.
Right. So where do you think realistically, so they have HYROX in Ottawa or Montreal?
If I was picking cities to host my HYROX events in, I would go Toronto, Montreal, Calgary.
Okay. Calgary is the other side.
Yeah, Calgary would be in Alberta and kind of be the center of the West. And it's a big city. It's a good city for events. Regina, yeah, Brendan King. I love Regina. I was out there for 3 months for work. It's a great place, but I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah. I would definitely say those would be the first 3 I would hit. Would be Toronto, then Montreal, then Calgary, and then probably BC, and then maybe Winnipeg, or BC, Vancouver.
So I'm sorry, I got stuck because you were talking about different things that are big. So I just looked them up. Texas versus Ontario versus Alaska, square miles, because maps are deceiving, right? It's actually more narrow when you get to the top of the globe. So they're smaller. What do you think the biggest one is?
Oh, I would say Alaska.
You would be correct. Yeah. Now my question is, what is bigger, Texas and Ontario together or Alaska?
Oh, again, I'm going to go with Alaska.
I was gonna open an affiliate in the Aleutian Islands. Actually, that was something I was looking to do in 2025. So, Dave, where are you in this map I just pulled up here? What are you close to? Which one of these cities?
All right, if you were to go straight northwest, about an hour from Mississauga.
I was just going to say the answer to the question was actually Texas and Ontario combined are very slightly bigger than Alaska, but barely.
So northwest of Mississauga, is that what you said?
Yes.
So
I'm from the venue that will be hosting HYROX Toronto. I am a 60-minute drive.
That's not even, that's like you should walk just to make yourself feel like a normal traveling weekend.
It's shorter than my drive to work.
Literally.
Yes, literally.
So if it's a 2-dayer, will you stay close to the venue or will you still drive home?
No, I'll drive home.
Hey, I got a question, Dave, because I don't remember, but I went to the OCR World Championships one year that was in Alaska around there, and I don't remember where it was.
In Alaska?
Not Alaska, sorry, Canada.
Jesus. In Ontario, yeah.
Somewhere north up here. Was it Blue Mountain?
That's correct. Yes.
Where is that at?
So that if you were to follow probably, let's say, northwest from the Mississauga Toronto area, it's about 90 minutes from there.
Okay.
So if you see where it says Barrie, right by the lake, just go over west from there. Kind of that body of water, the next body of water when you go northwest from Lake Ontario, that's Georgian Bay, and Blue Mountain is on Georgian Bay.
Okay. And so you're somewhere in between there, Barrie and Mississauga.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so I think we landed in Toronto, right? And then went to the Blue Mountains. But you're down.
Absolutely. There's nowhere else that you would come in.
But you're down here.
No, further. No, other way, east.
East.
Like pretty much. No. Now, see, now you're almost at Quebec. I would almost be on that blue line.
Between the airport and Blue Mountain.
Yeah. You actually can see if right where the red dot is.
Why don't you just publish your address and
yeah, I'm just west of there.
Well, isn't that where the Atkinses lived? Caledon?
Yep, that's where the Atkinses used to live. Caledon, yeah.
So where should we stay, Dave? In Toronto? Where do you recommend?
Depends how much you want to spend.
Okay, where's the venue? What's the venue called?
The Encare Center, I believe.
Can you spell that?
ENCARE. Or maybe N-Wave. No, Encare, yeah.
Oh, wow. Super close. Look at that.
Yeah.
So can I take a train or a bus?
From where? From the airport?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can get there by, I believe, a train, yeah.
It's going to be right on the water, eh? It'll be just like Chicago.
Yep. It will be pretty much right on the water. It's actually a really beautiful area, and there is parking. And
so if I want to go for a little shakeout run, can I go here, or is that too far?
No, you can go there. Yeah, there's lots of. If you look over here, there's a great big park right along the on the right side. Yeah, there's tons of spots to shakeout runs, tons of spots to move around there. That lakeshore area is really quite nice.
Anthony, you want to do a burrito 5K here, Anthony?
When is Toronto?
November.
October.
Whatever.
By the way, October could be scalding hot or it could be snowing.
Do you want to stay at the Marine with moccasin identifier?
I don't know. I kind of feel like doing a burrito 5K right now, actually. That sounds delicious.
I do not.
There you go. Ryan Reed, there's a great waterfront path that you can run. But yeah, it's a good venue. It's a good location. It'll be a great event, and it should be a 2-day event. Just saying.
Peter Benoit or Peter Benoit says the UP train is 20 minutes to downtown.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just nice.
out of the airport.
You don't have to rent a car, and you can just Uber it. That's always appreciative, or public transit. It's always great. Are these all Canadians? Do you know all these people, Dave? You should know every Canadian.
I know Ryan Reed. Ryan Reed's a beast. He's a young kid and he can run. He's done really well in the DEKAs. I believe he may have won his age group at Worlds or podiumed at age group as Worlds. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he has still missed my PR on the strong by a couple seconds.
Always good to throw that in there.
I like to remind him, but he is fast. He is legit fast. If there came to any running, he would make me look like I was standing still.
All right. Well, have we covered everything this weekend or from this week, gentlemen?
Let me pull up the notes here.
The only thing I have to talk about is like GoRuck RIP, which I think is probably what's going to be the case. GoRuck events do not appear to be coming back unless they do.
Okay with that.
We didn't do the way too early predictions.
Well, because why? We kind of did. We kind of started talking about it. And then
way too early? Dylan Scott.
There you go. See, that's what I like to hear. Who is
1 second now. Attaboy, Ryan.
What is it? Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades?
Yeah, and he's half my age, man.
And lawn darts.
Yeah. Yeah. Dylan Scott. That's my bold prediction. I'm ready.
I didn't say it had to be a bold prediction, but
I'll take it right to the end.
Way too early. What do you think?
Early. I'm riding the Dylan Scott train all the way.
Question about this then. I was curious about this one. Who didn't make it this year who will be in the Elite 15 next year?
Katie Simonson.
Thought it's Simonson.
Could be.
You know these people, Dave.
I know.
I was thinking more.
You're lucky I did a last name at all. I'm a one-syllable guy. I usually just do one syllable even for first names. This is why my wife is called Rye.
Just call me Ma.
Yeah. Tara Jackson. I'm with you, Emily.
I was going to say Tara Jackson and Chris Rogowski are probably the top of the list.
I'm going to say Carly's going to get faster and find her way to the Elite 15.
Ooh, I think that's a bold prediction. What about Emily there with Jade Skillen?
Yeah, I could. Jade Skillen or Rebecca Nader, I could see as well.
Do you know what? The only thing I wonder about Jade Skillen is that she is already so dialed in.
Like, has she reached her peak?
Can she improve that much more? And that's my only thing I wonder. But she is great. Like she's a ferocious beast out there.
I don't think Carly has ever worked on getting faster like in her life. Like she's been a firefighter, she's been a volleyball player. Those are very fit people, but they're never focusing on speed. And I think remember, what has she been doing this? A year and a half?
Yeah.
Not even.
But there's so much ground to be made up. Now she has that room for improvement, but the women now are so fast and have.
I don't even mean for that 1-2 spot. I just mean getting.
I know.
I don't mean
even to make it. You look at Tara Jackson, who didn't make it this year, and her wheels, right? Like how fast she can run. So that means like she has to up her game beyond that point, and it's a tall order. Because I mean, what is Carly's? And I'm a big Carly fan, but what's her best time right now? Like a 107?
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, something like a 107. Here, I'll just pull up high results.
There you go, Matt.
There we go. High results. In every episode.
Yeah.
What'd you say? Say that again. I missed what you said. I was answering something else.
He brought up high results, and you missed your chance.
Oh yeah, I do. Shout out high results.
Yeah, 108.26 is her best one.
That is a big jump.
Yeah, she's gonna have to take off about 5 minutes.
And it's all gonna have to come from the run. because her zone's already fast. I shouldn't say that. I'm not sure how her wall balls are, to be honest. But yeah, that's a tall order. Like someone like Tara's got to come up from a 103, right?
Yeah. So that's a lot more manageable, right? So looking at the women, I'd say the biggest like people that have a chance are definitely Tara and Chris, probably Rebecca Nader, who missed out just on that one spot at Cologne, Jade Skillen, and probably Jess Toll.
Oh, Jess Toll, yeah, that's not a bad shout.
So I'd say those 5 are going to be the ones like probably bubble.
Yeah, Belle McFarlane, if only.
So,
but there, like I said, there could be people that we don't know yet, right? Like we're talking about people who all found HYROX the last year. Absolutely. So other people that are where Meg and Belle and all these people were a year ago are like, oh, cool, what's this thing called HYROX?
Well, exactly that. But you also have to think about whose spot are they going to take right now in the Elite 15, right? Because that's another thing is that if they want to be in there, they have to overcome somebody that already is.
Yeah.
I don't know what Cheryl's saying yes to, but whatever you said is great, because Sharon and I are on the same wavelength. I agree with you too, Cheryl. I don't know what I said yes though.
And then I'd say like on the guys' side, you're probably looking at Sadiq is probably going to be a real threat.
I think Sadiq is going to climb really high.
Yeah, I think somebody like the guy that won Berlin, Yannick. I bet you people are going to be watching him.
What about Eugenio?
Yeah, I mean Eugenio's getting closer, so he's in that range.
What about those 2 guys that have the DEKA Strong record? I heard they're really good. What about those 2 guys?
I've seen their HYROX times actually.
Here's my question though. Like on the guys' side, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because right now, in order to like just looking at it, I pulled it up here. Paleo's on the outside looking in. He's in 16th with a sub 57 time.
Now he will he not get an auto qualifier?
That's what I'm curious about. There's already 4 auto qualifiers. If they do it like they did last year, there was only 5. They didn't go past 5 auto qualifiers. So that means the person that gets the 5th one is Sandy. So we don't know if JK and Paleo are going to get their auto qualifiers because 7 is a ton of auto qualifiers.
Yeah. By the way, auto qualifiers, I'm against. I don't want any of them.
I actually agree. I do not think there should be.
I think World Champ gets you into the majors. That's it. That would be my pick.
No, I don't need none of it.
You still got to race. You still got to race the major and race your way in.
No,
but it gets you.
You got to qualify just like everyone else. If you win the Super Bowl, you don't get a free pass to the playoffs.
There you go. Loving it.
And I think there's but I do think that matters about equal opportunity to be able to race. I think that matters. So I understand why they have the auto qualifiers. But right now on the men's side, if you don't run under a 57, you're not in. And what's that going to do to the American men that just ran Worlds? Like, I think Dylan might be the only one of them that's finished in.
Why do you say that? If there's only 4 auto qualifiers, why would you say that? If everything else is reset and we have to reset the leaderboard, then why would you have to run a 57?
Because that's where it's at right now.
It depends how far back they go to count.
Currently, it depends on. We don't know how far back they go. That's why, like I said earlier in the show, like they need to tell us how to qualify. At least put out how to qualify, and then release the majors.
Yeah, like for example,
later.
Dylan. If there's no auto qualifiers, and Dylan's sitting there with a 55 for like roughly, I think 55 was his time somewhere around there, which is a good enough time to have him in. But if it's too far back, then he will have to run again to try to get in. So that's why these guys need, like, as soon as possible, they need to be able to make their plans for their prep for the race season. Like it's got to start already now.
Yeah. Like there's some that like, honestly, almost do what we did last year where we didn't know what the season qualifier was going to be. So 2 weeks after Worlds last year, Lauren went and ran New York just in case.
Yeah.
To get a time just in case. But then they said, oh, here's the auto qualifiers and everything. So it didn't matter much, but you need to be able to know that because that way they could, maybe there's somebody in Australia or Singapore or wherever these next few races are coming up in 2 weeks that are going to be like, okay, I need to go race now. And I'm just extending my current season and then I can take a break.
More people to get in. Isaac Sanderson and Samuel Libert. There you go. No bias.
I mean, there's so many names now that it's really interesting to see. We really do have an elite 15. It's not like, okay, there's 10 people and 5. It's the 15 that get in are going to be earning their spot.
Yeah. Well, look, Tobias wasn't even in and come friggin' what did he come 5th, 6th, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, like just
maybe we get the two wave. Maybe we get the elite 30.
I don't want 2 waves.
I don't want
not even waves. At the majors.
No, in the majors, I want them all open.
Actually, I want 2 lanes. I want 2 waves. If the first wave can watch, or the second wave can watch the first wave, and the second wave is the 1 through 15, and they can watch those lanes.
And with that ends another episode of the Hybrid Live Show.
Thank you.
You can find Ugly Dave. What's happening this week?
This week we will be talking about my weekend experience at RX1, along with Bethany will finally get to weigh in on her opinions from HYROX Worlds after her haul.
Dave, why did you upload the wrong episode? What's going on?
I'm a moron.
Yeah, I got a question. Was that the wrong episode? Because I listened to
it was the wrong episode. It was the week before's episode. I did load it up properly to YouTube, and I put a story up saying that I did this with a link to the one at YouTube. So the one on YouTube had the right episode.
Wait, so like I went to listen to UKHXR and I listened to it.
Oh no, that was right.
And I went back and I saw, OFX put out an episode, and I went and listened to it, and it was the exact same episode.
That was proper. He's talking about an RX1 podcast. No, that was proper, and that was because Bethany was on holiday. And if you read the thing, it said, Beth's on holiday, so I posted that because
I read it, but I still thought you and Ian had separate talk. I felt
no.
Like
were you wrong?
I also felt ripped off, but I wasn't going to say it publicly.
Yeah,
I didn't get my free
episode.
podcast.
You put on a good episode there.
It took me like 5 minutes into it. I'm like, they're saying a lot of the same stuff. And then I had realized that like Ian was the one that introduced it, and I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Well, and if you follow the Thursday episode, I apologize to the 95% of you that it stopped at 40 minutes in, and the 8 to 10% of you that never heard the whole thing, even though I finally re-uploaded the right thing. So apologies for that. So that should be, I think I solved that problem.
A lot of technical difficulties with this crew.
That's what I'm saying. It was a weird week. What can I tell you?
I uploaded a video for our brand new cycle that's starting today for everybody on our program, and my sound cut out 15 seconds in, and I sat there and had an 8-minute video where they couldn't hear me at all after 15 seconds, and so I had to redo that one.
Are you and JK going to do a regular thing? Can we announce that, or is it just when you feel like it, or what's up?
No, it's regular. It's just he was on a cruise this week, so I'm actually doing a solo episode that I'll upload tonight. Or I got to figure out how to talk for 30 minutes.
It's tough.
I think I'm gonna, maybe my wife will jump on and I can just talk to her for 30 minutes.
There you go.
Where can people find that? What's that called?
That's called the Hybrid Coaching Podcast. It's not like this. It's not a review. It's not a like pundits trying to talk about what's going on. It's just coaching advice and coaching help for the hybrid space. And it's on all the platforms. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever, iHeartRadio, wherever you get them. And it's on YouTube. So if you want to jump on there, I was able to go through and look at my analytics of our episodes so far, and it's really cool. I like watching that. I'm gonna get addicted to it.
Yeah, you're like, oh, look, there's one guy in Kazakhstan that listens. Thanks, that guy.
Right? Like I looked at our thing and I was curious what our demographics were. And first off, it's like 75% male, 25% female. So it'd be good if we could pull in some female hosts to our view to see that balance out a little. But also, we're like 30% like USA. And then next up is UK, and it's like 25%. And then it's Australia. It's like 17%.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction. Dave has never looked at his analytics.
That is correct.
I guess what I like. You're very opposite of Anthony. That's what I like about you.
Don't care. Got no interest in it whatsoever. To me, judging on its success is that I get comments from the elite people in the sport who listen and pay attention, and I get people come up and talk to me, and that's all I need. I don't need any numbers. I don't need any of that.
When you do an episode, I was just curious about this. Do you like when you're presenting an episode, do you like speak to one person, or like imagine you're talking, like your thought is to that one person, and if they're listening, that's who you're talking to? I notice sometimes I'll think of that, like on this episode, I think in my head, oh, this is for that person.
If it's on a particular topic, yeah, and I'll often even say to that person that this is who I'm talking to. But because for me, most of the time I am talking to Bethany, we're talking back and forth, right? So
yeah.
But yeah, if it comes out like I want to address someone specifically, I will say, yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. I do that.
All right.
Even when talking to JK, I do that. I'll be like, oh, this person needs to hear this.
All right.
Don't say it out loud.
Have a good week, everybody.
Take care.
Thanks,